Hi everyone, my name is Sean and today we'll be teaching an acroyoga beginner tutorial.
Hi, my name's Alyssa.
So in this tutorial we'll be teaching you how to do both straddle throne and seated throne. To do so we'll be teaching it in a sequence where we'll start off in bird and we'll transition into straddle throne, and then from straddle throne we'll then transition into seated throne. In addition, we'll also be teaching an alternative entry, which is how to jump into seated throne. And lastly, we'll be teaching one more alternative entrance, which is how to jump directly into straddle throne. I'll be giving tips as a base.
And I'll be giving tips as a flyer. So let's get started.
Okay, so to begin with, Alyssa is going to let me down onto the mat. We're going to integrate this into a flow. So we're going to go from bird into straddle throne into seated throne, and then seated throne back to bird. So let's get into it. So connecting hands, Alyssa lowers me down, stands in front of me. I place my feet on her hips and we enter into bird, like so. Now, I'm going to signal to Alyssa which foot I'm going to take away, and that foot is going to connect onto her leg. So to do the signal, I actually squeeze, and then I remove my foot.
When I feel the squeeze, I shift my weight onto the opposite leg and raise my knee up towards my elbow.
I then take my foot, placing the toes behind her knee, my heel pointing outwards, my toes pointing towards Alyssa.
And I then wrap my foot inwards around the calf, creating a lock to keep this into position.
Whilst we're doing this, we're both remaining stacked throughout our arms. We don't want to move our arms out like this. You see how Alyssa's weight just moved forward? I want to be pushing through, acting as a good support for her, so that she can move her legs and lock onto me accordingly. So now that we have this position stacked, you want to be maintaining this in a very strong position. And once so, she's going to shift her weight into one side so I can remove my other foot.
Again, I bring that knee towards the elbow and then wrap those toes around the back of the calf, creating that lock once again.
I'm then going to bend my knees. That's going to allow Alyssa to sit up, and then once her weight stacks, I'm then going to push out with my knees, forming an L shape and stacking accordingly.
So when the knees are bent, you can feel your weight shift backwards. This will help you to bring your chest upwards and start to sit in this upright position. Allowing your gaze to point straight forward will help you maintain your balance and upright posture.
This one's also a very good pose for Instagram or so forth, the little Buddha pose. But what I'm doing now is we're going to move into seated throne. What we just did was straddle throne as well. I'm not too sure if I mentioned that. But to do so, I'm taking each one of Alyssa's feet and I just shift one foot towards her butt, second foot towards her butt, moving the knees inwards, and now she's in seated throne. I'm actively pushing with my arms upwards to provide a lot of support for her, and I'm maintaining my stack as well, so she's feeling very supported.
And during this time, the flyer aims to keep their weight balanced between the two hips.
So next up, we're now going to move back into bird. So I'm going to bend my knees slightly, and we're going to connect our hands like so, stacking through the arms. I'm then going to take off one foot. Alyssa shifts her leg back. I place my foot onto her hip. Second foot, the same. I shift it onto her, back into bird, and I'm giving her some toes as now. Now we're back into bird and we've stacked accordingly. So from here, we're now going to show you how to enter into seated throne from an entrance. So Alyssa's going to walk over here and she's going to look away from me. I'm going to take my hands, place them on her ankles, and I'm going to place my feet on her butt.
And once the fly is comfortable with that positioning, you can feel the support of the feet, you can lean your weight slightly back into that and give a little lift off to help the base bring you up.
I receive Alyssa's weight. Once received, my knees are bent. I'm just going to move my hands to her feet. I have my pinky in between her big toe and the toe next to it. I'm then going to extend my legs, keep them as stacked as possible, and moving Alyssa into the seated throne position. After chilling here for a little bit and feeling nice and comfortable, we're now going to exit from here. So I move my feet towards my head, guiding her nice and softly to the ground.
Just keeping your knees bent a little bit to help with that and provide a soft landing.
Okay, so for this last section, we're going to show you how to jump straight into straddle throne. So to do so, Alyssa's going to move her body slightly closer to myself so I can touch her toes. And I'm going to place my feet in between her thighs and present my hands to her.
So my knees are turned out slightly so Sean's toes can be on the inside of my thighs.
And we're just going to tempo it on a 1-2 jump. So when I say jump, Alyssa's going to jump. So 1, 2, jump. So essentially I take Alyssa's weight, I push up with my legs, she wraps her legs around my calves, and then I can push up so that she is in a seated position.
And if you want to make it look a little bit nicer, the fly can also raise their hands above. It can be a nice photo again.
Okay, so now we're just going to exit from this position. I'm going to take Alyssa's feet, shift one foot inwards, second foot inwards, knees together, and then we can exit safely like so. So that comes to the conclusion of this tutorial. If you like that and if you got to the end of this video, make sure to subscribe to the channel, give us a like, leave a comment, and we hope to see you in the next video.
Thanks for watching.